Welcome back. So far, I have discussed about the linear time invariant system, linear time varying system. After that, if I have autonomous nonlinear system or non-autonomous linear system, then how to linearize about the equilibrium point and how to linearize about some trajectory or some given trajectory. One more important point we have highlighted that suppose we have a state space equation, then how to convert it into transfer function. So what basically we are telling that I have some system and I have certain kind of input data, certain kind of output data, and after that we are knowing the differential equation of the system. And suppose my system is linear time invariant system, and if we use the Laplace transform of output by Laplace transform of input by putting all initial condition of a state equal to 0, then whatever that ratio comes into picture, that is transfer function. And we have already seen that from a state space we are able to uniquely able to define the some kind of transfer function. Sometimes it is necessary to talk about the reverse problem. It means that I have some kind of transfer function. Now I am willing to represent that in state space form. And why that is required? Because due to some kind of numerical computation aspects. Because I have already told you that nowadays most of time whenever we are implementing or whenever we are observing some kind of behavior, we are using frequently the digital computers. And in order to obtain the response, time domain response, suppose that you know the transfer function of some system, so you are knowing output by input ratio, and after that in order to calculate the output, and suppose some input is given, then you have to perform some kind of inverse Laplace transform. And there are very less number of numerical tools are available to calculate the inverse Laplace transform. Due to that reason, somehow we have to convert that transfer function into equivalent state space representation or some kind of equivalent first order system, because there are several integration tool, numerical integration tool, well established tool are available in different software platform. So if I have set of differential equation, then I can able to simulate that we are able to note the response. Another important point that it might possible something you may think that okay, if everything is available in differential equation form, then what is need of this kind of means transfer function, why we will go with the transfer function, or why we will go with the frequency domain or something like that, particularly for the linear system. Actually what happens, suppose if you have to construct some big system or some complex system, so that is interconnection of several system. And if we have interconnection of several system, then it is very difficult to handle whole system with some kind of, because in order to handle means we have to do some kind of mathematical modeling of each and every subsystem, and after that we have to see the interconnection. Another way, based on the experiment or based on some analysis, we know the transfer function of some subsystem. And once I know the transfer function of that subsystem, because sometimes it is very difficult to model that system using some kind of differential equation. So okay, based on experiment or based on some tool, we will identify the transfer function. And after identifying the transfer function, now what we are going to do, we are going to convert that into first order differential equation, and that problem is nothing but realization problem. So particularly still in industry people are adopting this kind of method, because I have already told you that whenever I have nonlinear system, most of system is nonlinear system, but if we know the operating point and if certain condition will satisfy, then it is possible to convert that into equivalent either LTI system or LTV system. And once that is LTI and LTV system, then one can tell that okay, I have some kind of transfer function representation, and after that now our aim to convert that transfer function representation into some kind of equivalent first order differential equation, means state space representation. So in today's lecture I am just going to focus on single input single output linear time invariant system. In next lecture I will also talk about multi input multi output system as well as linear time varying system. So let us start the today's lecture. After that I will tell you that if you will actually try to simulate something based on the transfer function information, then what kind of difficulty comes into picture. So in last I will also tell you, due to that reason, still in order to do some kind of simulation people are using time domain approach. So I have taken one single input single output linear time invariant system, and I am assuming that input that belongs to R and output also belongs to R, but inside this system I have states. So states that I am representing by xt, that may belongs to Rn, and under this particular assumption, if I will take the Laplace transform of output by Laplace transform of input by putting all initial condition of xt0 equal to 0, because we know that in dynamical system in order to predict the unique output I have to specify the input for all t greater than equal to 0, and after that we need the information of initial condition. So I am assuming that this initial condition is 0. Initial condition is 0. So now we just I required input to predict the output, and this is the transfer function and everything in frequency domain, and after that same kind of thing you can see that since this is linear, so I can able to describe using linear differential equation, and I am assuming linear time invariant system. Due to that reason you can see here that whatever matrix I have, that is independent of time. So this is not depending on time. Similarly, this is not depending on time. This is not depending on the time. And I know that x belongs to Rn, u belongs to R, y belongs to R. So this kind of information I have because I am just talking about single input, single output system. Now we have already seen that how to convert this particular differential equation, means this is matrix differential equation, because you can see that a is matrix, x is matrix, x is some kind of vector. So due to that reason we are telling this as a matrix differential equation, and after that I can calculate the transfer function by taking Laplace transform on both hand side, and I am assuming initial condition equal to 0. So you know that kind of things, and after that I am going to calculate the ratio of output by ratio of input. If you will do that, we have already seen that this kind of basically relation comes into picture, and our relation can be given like this. So this is the transfer function, and where we know that a as the system matrix, b as the input matrix, d is the output matrix, means d means how basically output is coupled with input, and c is the output matrix. So if you know the state space representation, it is possible to show that if you apply Laplace transform by putting all initial condition equal to 0, then this transfer function is always unique. So I have uniqueness from time domain to frequency domain. This is also called frequency domain, and after that now I have already told you that there are several computational region. We try to convert inverse this problem. Means suppose now I am assuming that I have some relation in frequency domain between input and output are available, then is it possible to reverse the representation? Means now I am going to find the state space equation from given transfer function. So realization problem, there are different definition for realization problem, but in this particular lecture this is the meaning of realization problem, to find a state space equation from given transfer function. So I am assuming that transfer function is available to me, and based on the available transfer function now I am going to formulate the state space equation. And why this terminology is justified? Because if you have certain idea of operational amplifier, then you know that with help of operational amplifier I am able to construct some kind of differentiator, some kind of integrator, some kind of proportional. Means suppose that if you have to scale some quantity, so using operational amplifier we can able to perform this kind of application. And operational amplifier is somehow actually some kind of analog circuit. So if you have to do analog implementation of something, then you have to take the help of operational amplifier, and that is very famous. Initially if you see the control system, that is most of control system is implemented with some kind of operational amplifier circuit. Now if I represent that transfer function into set of first order differential equation, then I am able to understand that what quantity is related to other, means other quantity, because some kind of differential relation, first order differential equation comes into picture after doing the state space representation. And due to that reason, means due to that implementation point of view, people are telling this problem as a realization problem. So that is just justification of the name. Now you try to see here that whenever we are talking about transfer function, so somehow what we are talking, okay, I have some kind of single input single output system, and I am giving some kind of input, putting all initial condition equal to 0, and I am getting some kind of output. So suppose you have input data and output data. Now try to understand the problem. Suppose you know the input and you know the output. So how many way I can fit input to output? And obviously again means in order to solve this relation between input and output, I have infinite many possibility. And due to that reason, means if you know the transfer function, then realization ABCD, means ABCD is actually a matrix parameter of LTI system, that is non-unique. And due to that reason I have infinite many realization. And whenever something is infinity, then we will get flexibility, but in other hand we have to also do, or cleverly we have to model something. So let us try to see that at least one representation, under which situation at least one representation from transfer function to state space is available. So what we are telling that, suppose I have finite dimensional system. So finite dimensional system, it means that whenever I am going to convert that transfer function into some kind of state space equation, then x whatever we are defined, that is I have finite number of information. It means that using in another way, you try to understand like this. Suppose you have input and we are telling that if I know the finite number of initial condition or finite number of data of initial condition, then uniquely I can predict it. But if that is not finite, means x0 is not finite, then we are telling that as a infinite dimensional system. And I have already told you that time delay system, PDE system, these are the infinite dimensional system. So whatever theory I am going to talk in today's lecture, that is only valid for finite dimensional system. Because in lumped system, in that so I have a lumped system as well as distributed system. So lumped system is finite dimensional system and distributed system is somehow infinite dimensional system. So if I know that I have finite dimensional system, then it is possible to show that corresponding to this transfer function, I can able to realize this ABCD. And if I have infinite dimensional system, then same transfer function, sometime we are approximating with some kind of transfer means approximating that particular transfer function with some set of differential equation. So sometime dimension is n, sometime n plus 1, n plus 2 or something, we do not know n. So sometime using lesser order I can approximate, sometime I can approximate with higher order. But if you know the finite, if you know that your system is lumped, means you have finite dimensional system, then at least still representation different, means so many different representation is available, but at least you are able to talk the dimension of matrix A, B, C and D. So in this lecture I have already told you that I am going to just assume that I have lumped system. So and same kind of things I have written here as a note. And LTI means linear time invariant time distributed system can be described by a transfer function but not by a finite dimensional state space equation. So and due to that reason means whenever we have distributed system, then people prefer to model that using frequency domain. And now you can see that, and obviously means whatever things I am talking, that is only I am talking in context of linear system. Now let us see one kind of theorem. Theorem means we are going to give some kind of guarantee. And guarantee means, suppose if I know the transfer function, then we are telling that using that transfer function, I will always get some kind of realization of a state space. So, and particularly this theorem will work on both directions. So what we are telling that a transfer function, so some transfer function is given, is realizable if and only if. So whenever we are telling if and only if, it means that I have relation like this. So if I assume A, then I am able to prove B. If I assume B, then I am able to prove A. So that will work on both directions. So what we are telling that a transfer function G cap S is realizable if and only if G cap S is a proper rational function. So we are going to prove it. First I am assume A, means I am assume that suppose I have some kind of transfer function, then we are going to prove that that transfer function is proper rational function. So and proof is not too difficult. So first you can assume that there is no coupling between output and input, and at that situation actually I have this kind of condition d equal to 0, and at that time my transfer function is represented like this. So I have C as I minus A inverse B. And now you can see that I have already told you that I have basically single input single output system, and due to single input single output system, somehow GS form of GS is numerator polynomial by some kind of denominator polynomial. Now try to see here that this particular things Si minus A inverse, I can also write that as a in terms of adjacent or determinant. So and this is pretty simple. Now you try to see here that if you see the matrix A, because A is the system matrix that has dimension n cross n, and if you calculate the determinant, then what happens, whatever polynomial that it comes into picture, their degree is n. I think that it is clear to everyone, because whenever we are calculating the determinant of Si minus S, then one polynomial comes into picture. Now try to calculate the adjacent matrix of Si minus A. And in order to calculate the adjacent matrix, you can see that whenever we are calculating adjacent matrix, at that time what we are doing, suppose that if you have some 4 cross 4 matrix, then we are assuming that suppose you have to find first element, then we are deleting first row and first column, and after that we are determining. Due to that reason, we are telling that here, in order to determine this, I need just n minus 1 cross n minus 1 submatrix of Si minus A. And due to this reason, whatever degree that comes into picture, that is lesser than 1, because this kind of things we have to do repetition. I hope that you all are able to understand how to calculate the adjacent of some matrix. That is pretty simple. Several times you might have learned about this. And after that, after calculating the adjacent, I have to multiply that with C and B. And here what happens that you can see that B, whatever B we are considering, so basically that is coming from, means x dot equal to ax plus bu, and x belongs to Rn. So C is the matrix and B is the matrix. And whenever I have multiplication of one matrix with some kind of another matrix, and suppose some kind of vectors are also involved, it is possible to show that we can write in terms of linear combination. And linear combination of actually n minus 1 degree of polynomial is again n minus 1. So due to that reason, what happens that in numerator, now I have some kind of polynomial of degree n minus 1. In denominator, I have polynomial of degree n. And due to that reason, we are telling that whatever this quantity that is comes into picture, that is strictly proper rational function. So my function in terms of numerator and denominator, and whatever the degree of the denominator polynomial that is higher than the numerator polynomial, and due to that reason, this word strictly comes into picture. If both degree is at least equal, then just we are telling proper. But if degree of numerator is higher than denominator, then we are not telling that as a proper. Now another situation, suppose if coupling is also available, because we are writing theorem, so we have to see all different cases, and after that prove that whatever statement we are going to give, that is true for all cases. And due to that reason, I am going to take d not equal to 0. And again, since this particular polynomial, I know the order of this polynomial, now I am going to just add d. So what happens that now a strictly proper polynomial is just converted into proper polynomial, because d is some kind of number. And suppose that if you have s square plus 1 by something x cube plus 1, and if you add some number d, then what happens that whatever polynomial that going to comes into picture, that is written like this. You have this ds cube s square plus d plus 1, like this, something like this. And due to that reason, we are telling that this is not strictly proper, because here you can see that whatever degree, so here 3 and here 3, and due to that reason, we are telling this is proper. So up to what we have seen, that if G inverse, I know the G inverse S, then I can give guarantee that whatever function that comes into picture, that is strictly proper. So again come to the statement of the theorem. So statement of theorem is a transfer function G cap S is realizable, because realizable means I am able to find at least one set of A, B, C and D, if and only if G inverse S is proper transfer function. Because why we are telling this, whenever I have some kind of first order differential equation, some kind of LTI system, and LTI system, suppose you can assume like this: x dot equal to ax plus bu, and after that y equal to cx plus d, and here again I am assuming that y belongs to R, and after that u belongs to R and x belongs to Rn. So we know that if I take the Laplace transform, then I will get this kind of matrix. Now I have to just reverse the problem, and due to that reason I have certain idea that this kind of polynomial comes into picture, and from that idea we are going to construct the C, A and B, and due to that reason we are going to discuss about the means with help of A and B and C we are going to discuss that this realization is possible or not. So in this way basically we have proved the theorem. Whenever you are proving some theorem, you have certain kind of idea in advance, and based on that idea you are proving something. Now I am going to do the reverse proof. First I am going to assume that I have proper rational function, and then we are going to see that if I have proper rational function, then that proper rational function is going to represent some kind of transfer function, or and using that transfer function I am able to find some kind of realization, state space realization. So now I am going to assume B and try to prove A. So proof is like this: if G cap S is a proper rational function, initially what happens, we have proved that G cap S as a proper rational function. So we have assumed about GS, form of GS, and after that we have proved that that is a proper rational function. Now what I am going to do, I am going to assume that GS is proper rational function, and after that I am going to talk about the realization. So due to that reason, without loss of generality, I am going to assume some kind of polynomial, and later I will tell that the power order of this polynomial may be anything, may n, but for time being I am assuming that is 4. So due to that reason this word I have used, without loss of generality, means 4 I can replace by n, then also result remains the same. And I have taken the proper rational transfer function, not strictly proper. Why? Here 4 and 4 is there, due to that reason I have taken this kind of polynomial. And now you have certain kind of guess, already certain kind of guess, then whenever some coupling between output and input, then basically proper transfer function comes into picture. If there is no coupling, then it might possible, in that case I have a strictly proper transfer function. So and here I am assuming that a1 bar not equal to 0, and this assumption is required, otherwise I cannot claim that this is a proper rational transfer function. After doing that, what I am going to do, I am going to divide both numerator polynomial as well as denominator polynomial and by a1 cap, and in this way what happens that, and later I am going to define the like this, that a2 cap by a1 cap, that as a2, and similarly I am going to define other quantity. So this is our definition. Similarly I am going to define b1 cap by a1 cap, that equal to b1, and like that I am going to define everything, and in this way what happens that this particular polynomial is transformed like this. So I have certain kind of remainder here, and after that now try to see one of the important observation here, that I have this transfer function, means I have the degree of this transfer function is 3, and second time I have degree of that transfer function is 4. Now you try to see here that basically this ds, whatever that come into denominator, where A1 means first coefficient, that is equal to 1. So here I can tell that this is actually a strictly proper transfer function, and ds is called monic. Monic means the first coefficient, means here whenever some polynomial is called monic, then at that time here whatever coefficient, so order of this polynomial is 4, so whatever coefficient here, that is equal to 1. So that is the meaning of monic. So we are assuming a1 equal to 1, and same kind of things we have written here. Now what I am telling, that if I have some kind of transfer function like this, and if this polynomial ns by ds is strictly proper means rational function, at that time this particular quantity is equivalent to this quantity. And due to that reason, when I have started this exercise, I have taken the some kind of polynomial or some kind of rational function that has order 4. So what we are telling, that here if I have this kind of transfer function, then that can be realized using this kind of differential equation. So first I am assuming, and after that what I am going to do, I am going to take Laplace transform both side and going to construct the same kind of transfer function. Then at least I can claim that whatever things I have written, that is true. So you can see that in order to construct this particular first order set of first order differential equation, what we are going to do, I have seen the numerator polynomial as well as denominator polynomial, and whatever coefficient, here you try to see the coefficient of the denominator polynomial, that is here coefficient is 1, here 2, a2 and a4 and a5. So I will forget about first coefficient, and after that what I am going to do, I am going to put all coefficient a2 to a5 as it is inside the matrix by putting negative sign. And due to that reason, this kind of representation comes into picture. And after that what we are going to do, you can see that this is not diagonal. So sometimes people are telling this as a super diagonal. So this is diagonal, but apart from this below diagonal element, I am going to put 1. So if here, first try to understand why 4 cross 4 matrix comes into picture, because denominator polynomial, highest degree of denominator polynomial is 4, and due to that reason xt, this belongs to 4. And after that, this is the coefficient of, so suppose this is fourth order polynomial, so coefficient of third order, second order, first order and last. So in this way you can put this, and after that here you have to put 1 and try to see the numerator polynomial. And numerator polynomial, I have b1, b2, b3, b4, so you can put that coefficient as it is. Then if you put that coefficient as it is, then what happens, that this kind of algebraic equation comes into picture, and xt belongs to R4. So from here you can also check that, and yt belongs to R. So this should be 1 cross 4 matrix. And dt, you are knowing that some kind of number here, and ut again belongs to R. So in this way what happens, that from this particular transfer function I have constructed this kind of first order set of first order differential equation, and that is called state space equation. Now I am going to, again, because I have already assumed, so now only one job, I have to prove that whatever claim I have done, claim is like this, means from transfer function I have obtained this kind of state space model. So from this state space model, again I am going to get some kind of same kind of transfer function, and this is always unique. You know that if I know the state space equation, then uniquely I am able to generate the transfer function. So what I am going to do, I am going to take Laplace transform on both hand side, and after that same time I am going to keep that all initial condition equal to 0. So by doing this, now let us come to this. So I have initial condition equal to 0, and if I have first order differentiation, then what happens, this is converted as a s x1s, where x1s is the Laplace transform of, so suppose that if I have x1t, then I am writing Laplace transform of this is basically x1 cap into s. Similarly, xit, and if you take the Laplace transform, then that is xi cap into s, and I am assuming that xi equal to 0, all initial condition equal to 0. So under that assumption, basically this kind of things comes into picture, and here again u cap s is the Laplace transform of ut, and in this way I am able to convert all differential equation, first order differential equation, into set of algebraic equation. So I have 4 algebraic equation now, and from this equation you can see that I can express x2 in terms of x1, I can express x3 in terms of again x2, and x2 is already expressed in terms of x1, so I can again express in terms of x1, and similar kind of things I can do. And by obtaining everything in terms of x1, I am going to put here. Then what happens, in first algebraic equation I have everything that is either in form of x1 or in form of us. So in that way I am going to perform the next calculation. So I have expressed x2 in terms of x1, similarly x3 in terms of x1, and similarly x4 in terms of x1, and after that I am going to substitute everything inside the first order equation, and after that what I am going to do, I am going to express the x1 in terms of us, and after that I will get this kind of equation. Now since I have to calculate the transfer function, so I have to know the output equation, and I have already claimed that, if you remember our claim, then we are telling that whatever transfer function I have taken, that can be expressed as this kind of differential equation in terms of a state and ut, and this kind of algebraic equation. So again, if you expand this and put the value of x1, x2, x3, xn in terms of u, then you are able to generate the ratio of yt and ut, or ys and us, because you have to calculate the transfer function. So somehow I am going to eliminate the all state variable. In that way I am just able to concentrate on input and output, and due to that reason what I am going to do, that here first I will write the input equation, and in place of x1s I am going to substitute everything in terms of the us in this term, and similarly this is a straightforward, and ds, in order to simplify the representation, denominator polynomial I am going to represent by ds. And if you are going to do further simplification, then you will able to generate this kind of things. And if you check it carefully, then again transfer function whatever I have taken, I have started with this kind of transfer function, and due to that reason what we are telling, that if I have transfer function like this, so this is basically ys, so, and transfer function that I have represented as a gs, so same terminology I am going to use such that you will not confuse, that gs is basically output ys by us u cap s, and from here you can see that I am able to easily able to construct this matrix, and this matrix has certain name that is called controllable form, and I will tell you that in next part of this course why name of this form is controllable form. So for time being, just you can remember that name of this form is controllable form. So in controllable form, one notable thing is that if you have first order system, then control, if you have the means single input single output system, so in that single input system, control is only going to appear with respect to one state variable. Coupling is already there, because if you express this, then x1 is coupled with x2, x2 is coupled with x3, x3 is coupled with x4, but control is explicitly going to appear across one state. But output, you can see that output, again coupling is available in output. Another form I can easily construct from this form, that is called observable form, and due to that reason I have already told you that if I know the input and output, means transfer function means ratio of Laplace transform of output and ratio of Laplace transform of input, then realization is not unique, non-unique. So at least whenever we are talking something as a non-unique, then at least we have to show two forms, and due to that reason we are going to talk about second form. And this form, again you can just remember the name, and when I will deal with the observation problem or observer design, at that time I will tell you the whole story why name is observable form. So here you can see that I have transfer function. So I know this is my transfer function, and after that this transfer function, I have already told you that that is ratio of, yeah, some kind of polynomial, means numerator polynomial by denominator polynomial. So somehow this is some kind of a scalar quantity, and whenever I have certain kind of a scalar quantity, if you either means talk about that quantity and their transpose, both are equal. So I am going to use that kind of observation. So what I am going to do, that I am going to start with that transfer function, and I know that if this is a scalar quantity, then if I will take the transpose, then same kind of quantity comes into picture. And after that, you all are also well aware about the property of the matrix. If you do this kind of transpose, then this relation comes into picture. If you will do this, then what happens, you will get B transpose into A transpose. So I am going to use this kind of property here. So if I will take the transpose of this, so individually I can do transpose of this and D transpose. Again, please see that D is just a scalar. So I can write D transpose equal to D again. And due to that reason, what happens, that this particular quantity without any transpose comes into picture. Here I have multiplication. So A B transpose equal to B transpose A transpose. Similarly, A B C transpose is C transpose B transpose A transpose. So similar kind of things I am going to use. And if you are going to do that, then what happens, here you can see that S is some kind of a scalar or some kind of complex scalar. So either you can write I transpose or S transpose or S transpose I transpose, that doesn't matter again. And here, so finally what happens, that if you will perform this, then this equation, so this is again transfer function, same kind of transfer function comes into picture. But here this we are interpreting in originally as a system matrix. So now that is A transpose. So in this realization I have A transpose, C transpose. So similar way we are collecting everything. So that is C transpose. This term is now B transpose, and this is D. So this is some kind of different realization, and name of this particular realization is called observable form. And now it is very easy to check that, because you know a matrix. So if you calculate the controllable form, so from controllable form it is possible to also express everything in observable form, and it is possible to know now that why basically this kind of a structure comes into picture, because you know that in place of A I have A transpose, in place of B now I have C transpose. So whatever C matrix I am going to replace here, in place of B C, I have B transpose. So now whatever vector here, that is going to shift here. So here you can see that since I have single input and single output, so I am telling that I have just, if you multiply this, then you are able to see that I have just single output in this particular representation. Now, in order to actually go some more inside, what I am going to do, I am going to take one example such that you are able to construct some kind of controllable form and observable form. And after that I will also talk about some kind of numerical aspect. So again, you have to convert into proper transfer function, and after that, after doing that, just you have to do, I have already told you that everything is very simple. So whatever 3 that you have to replace here, whatever 7.5 you have to replace here, and everywhere you have to just put, change the sign. If positive then negative, negative then positive, that kind of things happens. And 1 is here, and similarly whatever coefficient as it is you have to put inside u, and whatever rest quantity you have to put here. So, and similarly you are able to solve this kind of exercise. So this exercise is also very easy. Again, in place of A I have to put A transpose. Here in place of B, C transpose comes into picture, and after that here I have, in place of C, B transpose comes into picture, and after that whatever, whenever we are converting some proper 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 rational function into a strictly proper, at that time basically I am getting this kind of quantity. You can see here that here this is not strictly proper, because whatever power of numerator and denominator is same. Due to that reason, first I have divided, and after that we are getting this number. So that number is nothing but actually coming for the D, and that remains the same because that is a scalar quantity in both form. Now let us try to come for the computer program, because I have already told you that nowadays system is very complicated. Lot of complicated system we are designing. You can think about car, you can think about the sophisticated aeroplane. Lot of system, complicated system we are designing. So most of time it is very easy to very difficult to deal everything using hand. So due to that reason, we have to use the computer program or some kind of software program we have to use. So suppose that you have some kind of transfer function that is given, and again for time being assume that you have single input single output system. Now here you can see that if you know the some input, and most of time in order to check something people are using impulse response, step response, and I hope that you are able to understand that what is meaning of a step response. Whenever we are telling that okay, I have something t and ut and this is equal to 1, so this kind of response we are going to give to the system. So I know the input, so I have to take the Laplace transform of this, and after that I am able to know the output. So basically if you see the MATLAB program, because most of time it is pretty easy to implement everything of control system with help of this software MATLAB. So what I am going to do, I am going to collect the coefficient of this numerator polynomial here. So you can see that coefficient is 1 minus 2 10, and denominator polynomial. And if you write this kind of function, if you call this kind of function in MATLAB window, that is a step n and d, then you are able to get the state means a step response of the system. But try to understand that how basically this program will behave. So from polynomial I have collected n and d, but you can see that if you go via the inverse Laplace transform, if you want to calculate here the yt with respect to time, then basically how to calculate that, because I have already told you that in this particular system I have fixed the what is value of us. So I am going to talk about the step means a step response of the system. So I know what is my u bar s, that is 1 by s. So if you fix the 1 by s, so from gs, because g bar s is nothing but u bar s by, or output by input. So I have to write like this. So 1 minute. So basically I have to do like this. So here basically this quantity is output by input. So I have to express this quantity by I have certain kind of output. So output is y bar s, y and y cap s, and by u cap s. And in this way, you have to multiply this quantity here. So that is multiplied by 1s. So this whole transfer function is going to multiply by 1s. And if now suppose you are willing to plot the yt with respect to time, then what you have to do, suppose I'm assuming that everything at initially at 0, then and you are getting this kind of response, some kind of response. So in order to do that, you have to calculate the inverse Laplace transform, and then after calculating the inverse Laplace transform, you are able to get dyt with respect to t. So and in order to get the inverse Laplace transform, what is the standard way? Most of time we are doing the partial fraction expansion, and in order to perform the partial fraction expansion, again I have to know the root of the polynomial, and or we have some kind of lookup table, and using lookup table we are constructing the inverse Laplace transform. So either in both way I have to write some kind of computer program such that either they will calculate the partial fraction or go to the lookup table and after that reconstruct the inverse Laplace transform. So but if you go via the partial fraction way, then what happens that it is possible to show that computer program become very much sensitive, because in order to perform partial fraction, first you have to calculate the root of that polynomial. And try to see here that I have taken some simple polynomial here, and that polynomial degree is 4. So fourth degree polynomial I have, and after that what I am going to do, using this polynomial, this particular polynomial, I am going to see the root. And after that here you can see that I have just done the some kind of increment in this. So I have fluctuated the data by 0.1% here and here, and it is possible to show the effect of the root. You can see that initially root is -1, now that become -998. This is okay, but here you can see that this is -2, but this is increased a lot. Similarly here this is -2, so here both are real. Now complex quantity comes into picture. So what happens that if you do certain variation of the polynomial, and whenever you are doing some kind of implementation, numerical implementation, you are implementing same but in 7, suppose you have to implement 7, then it might possible that particular hardware program or software program is just able to calculate value up to 6.99 or something like 7.001. So these kind of things is very common during numerical implementation, and if that kind of variation comes into picture, then you can see that original root and whatever that root reflected on the computer, both are different. Due to that reason, transfer function are not used in computer computation, and this is the one of the most important reason to motivate researchers or scientists to convert the transfer function into some kind of first order differential equation. So what we have seen today, that okay, if I have some kind of state space representation, then transfer function is always unique. But if I have transfer function, if I have finite dimensional LTI system, then if transfer function is strictly proper, then strictly proper, then I can talk about realization. And we have to seen that two different form of realization, that is controllable form and observable form, and both form are very much important for the designing of control or designing of observer, which we are going to see in the next part of this course. So with this remark I am going to end the today's lecture. So thank you very much.